Whereas either way, guys, that the thing I just realized now is if you want to have sex with other people in terms of pleasure, I understand it's more what you feel. But what you feel is that you want to promote other people in terms of words. And you have to understand it's more how you want to be with them in a way of words, much more than sex with them. I mean, if you just want sex with that and they're looking attractive to you, and you just want them for sex, I mean, guess what? I mean, it's more how you want to be with them to promote words with them so that you can talk to them with words while having sex with them. And that's marriage. I mean, you're talking about marriage. I mean, you're talking about having a girlfriend is what it is, or a boyfriend. But if you just want to have sex with them because it's that kind of day for you, or you just want to fucking use them for sex or something, and pleasure, and that's it, and they're so attractive, and so attractive, and you just want them for sex, then some other person or man or woman is going to get them to have sex and also for the rest of their lives too, because they can promote words with those people. And other people have done that before you too. But why is that? I mean, why do other people have much more than you when you are born today? But is that a lie, or is it a facade, or is it true? I mean, guess what? I promise you, when you're born today as a baby, and you see some 40-year man or woman has more than you in communicational skills and whatever it is, I mean, do they have more than you really? Person, no. I mean, how can they have more than you? Person, nobody here can have more than you in life. I mean, even when you're just born today, in terms of a little baby, I mean, what you do from this point is just understand that there's something better. I mean, there's always something better. So what you do is promote. I mean, promote yourself and other people. And if you promote yourself and other people, then you deserve much more greatness, always. But those people who are available on Instagram today are much more a promotion every single day to focus on a greater life, because they deserve it. I mean, if your spouse or person is promoting you always, then they love you very much. I mean, in a sense, so what you need to do is focus on something that's actually greater for you in different ways. Then you're making sure that always you pick up, that you pick up different ideas upon how people are. Then you actually understand straight away that you're learning very quickly upon what people are doing. And then you're succeeding straight away upon what's happening. And that way you're always learning very quickly upon understanding that it's more the words that you have than what they have. I understand, but guess what? You have Jesus Christ. I mean, you have eternity. And even if other people have more, you do have Jesus Christ in your life. And that's the most you can get. The most you can get is Jesus Christ. I promise you, everything's been given to you already because Jesus Christ is here. So everything that baby has that's just born today is Jesus Christ. That's everything. I mean, that's more than you have. Understand? But guess what? I promise you, everybody has that. So no matter what other people have, you have to understand that you have eternity and you have something greater in this world, regardless. So never be shaming yourself that other people have more than you. But just say they have more than you at this point of time, that they do have more than you. But eventually you understand that you have Jesus Christ and you have something greater than them always. Understand? And that way you must understand that's why Jesus came here, to give you the Christmas present of eternity. It's the best Christmas present you can ever have. Understand? And that's what you need to realize every single time. Every single time. You need to focus on understanding that now, since I understand I do have an appointment at the banks, and I have to hurry up and I have to go, but make sure you understand every single time that you focus on going and delivering that content that you need to succeed, because that way you focus on something greater. But as you're focusing, just make sure that you go right now to where you need to go so you can go and succeed, and just make sure that you focus on the words. The words of life is what you want. Understand? So promote the words and understand that now I need to go and shower very quickly because I have a bank appointment and I want to get you guys the bank deals. I'm going to get you guys the bank deals today. And what I need to do is I need to go to the bank very quickly, and I also need to go to Officeworks. So now I understand that what's important for myself today is to realize something now. I understand I have so much more time. I can grab my biological dad's car very quickly and just go off his car quickly to Officeworks to grab my beautiful promotions. But guess what? It's more how I feel that I need to go and grab his car to go to the nice and beautiful Liverpool first. I'll go to Liverpool first. And what I do from Liverpool is I go and grab my nice and beautiful business cards with his car. And I just let him understand I have to get his car. And then I go to the appointment to just ask the bank questions about interest rates and what they're doing upon the banks today. And then I make sure that I understand straight away that they did remind me, and I understand because of that I'm successful when people remind you. When people remind you quickly to succeed much more, they understand that if you have more words to give, it's much more eternal life. And eternal life, the virtue of eternal life is when you're promoting yourself with words. That's all you need, guys. Make sure you're very successful in that. Make sure you're very successful in words every single day. It's what you want. The words of life is what you want, guys. Be careful about the nasty different ways, but understand if you're talking much more about life and you're talking about every single day learning about life in terms of better words. And if you stick to the better words of life, then you deserve to go and be a success every single day. Because what I've learned about life is what my mentors have, and that's what I have in words as well. So since I'm always reading something and I'm learning very quickly upon how to understand life itself, making sure I always hurry up and I make sure to go where I need to go to succeed differently, because what's important for me is if I grab the bus, I make sure always to have a better way. And I'm making sure always that I focus upon understanding it's much better that I go by the bus today. Or if I go by the bus today to sell my bowl to Dad's car, or I feel that it's much more that we're going to do that. Why is that? Because I feel that there's no pressure when I go by the bus. Alright, now, every single day I feel that I do much better about life itself in different ways. So since that's the case, I'm learning quickly to just go and get my nice and beautiful, let's say, business cards in a way that I go by the car very quickly first to get business cards because it's just around the corner. I'm understanding that since I do that, then I have to go to a nice and beautiful bank. And now, how do I get to the bank from this point? I get to the bank by the car. I have to go with the car to Office Works to get the nice and beautiful business cards. And then I go to the bank very quickly. And then I go to promote myself all day long. But guess what? Rushing out from that point, and that's why I have to go by the bus. Now, I never want to grab his card that long. I want to understand anyway that what I need to do now is a letter B. But I'm understanding now, since Office Works is this way, I understand that I need to go really quickly to get the business cards really quickly, and then I return here, and then I go by the bus. And now if I do that, I have some time, I can do that. I can do that very, very quickly. And I understand that it's much more how I need to go and grab the life much greater. I have to grab a greater life in the process of what I'm doing. But since that's the case for me, I realise, I understand now how different people are different walks of life all the time, and how they become stars, and guess what happens to them? They're doing the content, but are they helping you in a way that I am? Actually not. Actually, they're never helping as much as I am, but that's why I deserve better. I deserve much more. But anyway, I promise you that what's important is more words. So the more words you have, the better for you. But I'm not saying how somebody can be richer than other people, and that's why you need to go and grow yourself. But as you grow yourself, you shall succeed. And as you do something much greater for your life, you have to understand that anybody who has a business term with somebody that's in a long process of life, and understand they are doing better business than other people. But what is business? Business is making sure that you have a greater life for yourself. If you have a greater life for yourself, you can be a star on your own. And you can be a better star on your own than with other people. Understand? Just look at Danny Blumowicz. The guy grew up in Cabramatta, Australia, and he's born in Sydney. And guess what? Look at my life. I'm much more successful than those people. Understand? Because I learned very quickly upon how to live life. If I learn anything about life, I'm learning very successful upon what I'm doing daily. I'm focusing on making sure I promote myself in different ways to make sure my life is successful. And that's the whole point. So I'm learning very quickly upon my life and how I promote myself to different people, and I'm never the greatest people, but making sure I have words. Now words is what I want, and as I promote, I succeed myself into greatness, because I'm never ashamed for that. I'm never ashamed for being successful, guys. I make sure you understand straight away what I mean. But it's much more about the words with that person than it is just pleasure with them. So make sure you understand that what you want out of life is success. But every single day, they're going to watch me and they're going to say, oh, he's helping the world more than me. And guess what happens? I'm much more of a greater star than them, and they're jealous of me at some point. I mean, that's that. So why? I mean, why are they jealous of me? Because I have greater than them. I have greater words than them in life. And I mean, in a sense, the greatness is the more words you speak, the better. Approach, that's all. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that you have to record yourself in your life every single day. Of every moment, your life must be recording itself. So that's what I do. I record myself daily. I record myself with words daily. And I focus upon giving you knowledge. As I give you knowledge, I succeed. I succeed differently. And because I succeed differently, I'll show you guys very quickly upon how I do life very quickly. And that's how I feel. I feel difference upon what I'm doing. And because I do different life expectancies, I focus upon understanding that anything that's greatness to me is focusing upon a greater life. So focus upon helping your life to succeed in different ways. And then you deserve it. I mean, you deserve always to promote whoever you want with the words you want. So you can always put the words available to say, this is somebody in my life who is greatness to me personally. And why? And then give them a description about why that is. Understand? And anyway, just focus upon that if they're just a neighbor to you, just understand that no matter what, that everybody's a neighbor to me. Understand? But the thing is, every single day, focus upon understanding that what you want out of life is greater indulgence in your life to be able to be more mature upon your age. So if you're very mature for your age, then it's because you're communicating more words. And words is why people succeed. I mean, if you see them on television, then it's because they're speaking words to be on television. I mean, it's because they can entertain people with words. And that's it. In a sense, so focus on having your life be successful to the point of degree about your life, and that's it. For sure, when they see Danny Milivojevic Instagram, they say, oh, and they say, what the fuck? They say, this guy's greatness. They say straight away that I'm promoting my name, promoting who I am, promoting everything about me. Then I focus upon saying I'm just the word I. And that's why I'm successful. I deserve much more. I deserve greatness. I deserve a greater life. And that's why I'm attracting a greater life now. I'm attracting a greater life, guys, regardless of what's happening every single day. But because I have these 10-hour programs, I want to upload this to YouTube. And since that's the case, the project, I have to find myself doing it with the phones. I want to do it with the phones now. And why phones? Because phones is something that is helping me. So every time I export videos online, I want to make sure that instead of never exporting anything online, I want to go and export it online when it's never doing so. So if there's nothing uploading online right now, then I want to make sure that I can go and upload it online in different ways. So focus upon understanding that words get you what you want. And if you can speak words, then you can understand how to really live life. And that's it. Look at Osho. Look at Dr. Wayne Dyer. Look at Tony Robbins. Look at Jesus Christ. Look at Zig Ziglar. Look at Jim Rohn. What's great about them? Their words. The words are great about them. They can express the words. What's so great about me? I can express words. I can express my words, but many people have no ability to do that. It's fortunate enough for you to understand that if you're fortunate enough to live life, then you're already here, aren't you? So guess what? To be fortunate is to be rich. But if you're unfortunate, then it means that you may be unlucky. In a sense, so that's what it means. So every single day, just see anything that's unfortunate or fortunate as richer. And that's it. And that's how I understand to connect words of negativity into positivity straight away. And focus on a greater way of life, and that's it. But if somebody did devote themselves to you in love, and they did come back for you, but you never did want to get with them, then it's because they have better words than you at that time. In a sense, so what you need to do is realize, I have better words than everybody. And that's why I deserve better. I deserve better. I deserve better. I always deserve better. And why is that? Because I have better words. I have better words to give every single day. I have something more to give than them. And that's why I'm always dwelling upon life better. And that's why I make money very quickly now. Because my life is quick. I'm quicker than them about life. I never need to wait 6 years. I never need to be on the Social Security for the next 6 years. I can be on Social Security for the next 6 years before they run out of money. Whereas in the year 2027, I promise you, the Medicare and government Social Security is running out of money, and they're going to make everybody, let's say, go to work for money at the 9 to 5 job. So I have 6 years to be able to make money without Social Security and without the 9 to 5 job. But how do I do that? I do that with words. Promote myself quickly now with words. I get all the money and dump it into promotion of myself and events around the world. Now. Watch, that's it. I mean, how, Denny? I mean, how? I mean, how? I mean, you must understand. You must ask questions. But it's the words. I mean, the words of life. I mean, the words always. I mean, look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, that's somebody else I have to promote. But, you must understand. He promotes the wrestling ring. And anybody that's new in wrestling, I mean, goes on his show as a podcast. I mean, you understand? And there's always more people to promote, but he's always communicating, always weekly. I mean, he's always doing it weekly. I mean, he's promoting all the wrestlers and their stories at his podcasts with words. I mean, what? I mean, why? Because words is life. I mean, words is everything. But when you see that other people are getting something that they deserve, and you never have exactly what they have, then guess what? I mean, go and create something that you have. I mean, go and create something better than them. And then that way you never fall jealous. You understand? But if they have that, and they have exactly that, then you can do better than that. And you can do better than that. And that's what I'm saying. You can do better. I mean, do you want exactly as me, or do you want to do better than me? And you want to do better than me. So whatever somebody has right now, I want to do better than them. I want to do better than them. So I have to go and find what I need to do better than them. So since these there's many guys who had sex with over 500 women. So what do I have to do better than them here? I have to speak more words. I have to speak more words than them. For sure, as long as I speak more words than them, I never fucking care about them. Understand? I never fucking care about how many women they have. I fucking speak more words than them and then fucking have a greater life than them, and that's it. Understand? For sure, if you have fucking level 500 success, and you fucking had sex with 500 guys and more, and I have level 501 success. I have one step success more than you in words. But I mean, let's just say anything about that is the words. Understand? I mean, the words of life, mate. Understand? So the words is the success. I mean, it's never that they are fucking having sex around, and they're having sex around with beautiful women or men. I mean, guess what? I promise you, there may be level 2 success and having success like that. But guess what? I promise you, it's more. If I have even one step more words than you, I'm already successful regardless of you. I mean, regardless of what you are, I'm successful more than you in words. I mean, how are you going to overtake me? I understand? I mean, if you want to overtake me now, then you have to be doing audio content all the fucking way. In a sense, so what I do daily is I practice my communicational skills with you in a way that's working. So I understand I do have time. Making sure you guys understand something now. I need to go and let it be. I never want to be rushing up and down. I can go and get the bus to go to a nice and beautiful way of life. And make sure you understand straight away. So what I need to do is I never rush. So I want to be able to understand something. If you go promoting yourself in front of people, they understand that no matter what, they deserve it. I mean, you guys deserve to promote yourself. But the thing is, that if you promote yourself in regards to helping yourself succeed, then make sure you're talking more words than reading from other people. I mean, why? Because that way you're learning that Jesus Christ story is more enough. And all you do is go and grab yourself synonyms and antonyms and read that to people. I mean, go and boost your vocabulary, regardless. Because that helps you to read more and more of the words you say. So either way, I promise you now, I want to always make sure that I'm never sitting on my computer chair. I don't want to sit on my computer chair ever. I sit on my camping chair. I have a camping chair. So understand that with my trolley, I delay it for another month. I delay a trolley for 1 month. And now that's the case. So I never need a trolley for 1 month. And why is that? Because that's the way it is. And now understand either way that what I want to do is a better way of life. So every single time I focus upon understanding that I see a lot of attraction with beautiful women, and make sure always to let it be. I'll move on. And now, since I understand every single day that what I need to do always is to focus on different ways of life. And because I focus on different ways of life every single day, I focus on making sure I study. I study something different. I study a better way of life. I study better habits. I study making sure that I have successful intent to make sure I progress. So what I need to do is just go by bus to the bank. I let it be that way. I make sure all the time I can go and let it be, and realize this, that if I go pick up my nice and beautiful office work stuff over there and I just go quickly to the bank and I come to my biological dad's house, or actually now either way, I want to go by bus all the way to the bank. Now I'll let it be that way, but what I do now is I get the car and I go to office works and I come here. But then guess what? I mean, that's a big rush. I mean, the best thing now is just go to the bank and that's it. I mean, either way, I promise you now, I focus upon understanding that is the case for me. And then I go walking around the neighborhood around here, and why not? I'm pretty sure I can do that. And now, because I'm doing this, I'm doing much greater in what I'm doing, and making sure anyway that I'm successful. So what I want to do is say I get trolley in 1 month. I get the trolley in 1 month, and it'll be that way. I promise you now, no matter what I do, I focus on understanding that I have all the dates already. So what I want to do is, after my nice and beautiful seminar in Sydney, I then go and promote myself, and I say every single time I invite everybody I can, and I invite everybody that's with me to the nice and beautiful event that I'm holding together on 28th of May 2021. And it's a hype. I mean, there's 1 month to go, and I realized that because there's 1 month to go, I have to promote the event. But that's the only way to do it. And I understand Armin van Buuren right now in March, in 2021. I mean, he's starting to promote his event for next year. I mean, he's promoting now his events of Armin van Buuren until next year. I mean, he's just promoting that event and promoting that event and promoting that event. And he may be sold. I realize it now. If he's sold out, probably guess what? Probably no longer does he promote that event. So probably promotes some other kind of event. Understand? Because that's how it is. I'm pretty sure you have to keep selling out arenas, and as soon as it's sold out, then guess what? I mean, you never promote that event again. I love it. Which that's why I have Ticketex always. I mean, Ticketex today is a company that helps you to promote your content and what you are online, and always have greater strategies to pick up what you have in a way that you're learning. I mean, be learning, but what I need to do today is a different challenge. And different challenges breed different aspects of life. But I want to make sure anyway, I can listen to music on the way. I can read something, but guess what? Or else I'll let it be. I make sure all the time I focus upon understanding that what's new for me now is focusing on understanding that I'm already free. I'm already free to do whatever I need to do to succeed. So every single day, that what I need to do today is different aspects of life to make sure I'm successful, and that's it. I make sure every single day I'm doing far more than Tony Robbins. I'm doing far more than everybody else in words, and that's why I'm always delivering. I'm delivering content quickly, and that's why people are like 10 hours. I mean, yeah, 10 hours to read from me, man. I mean, understand? I mean, 10 hours per video. I understand. So anyway, I realize it's because it's more content, but anyway, it's much more how I feel. It's all the nice and beautiful words that help you to succeed. First now, anyway, I need to get myself out of this biological dad's house as soon as possible to go travel the world. And now, what helps me the most is the words to get out of this place. And that's what I understand straight away now. I understand to be able to level up, to get out of this place where my biological dad lives. I never ever want to live here with him. I never want to live here with him. I never want to live with my biological dad. You understand? So what I do is I make events around the world to promote my events, to do better in a way that I can go live somewhere else. I can go live around the world somewhere. I can go do something around a nice and beautiful family. But I never want to live with them. I never want to live with my family. I want to live with I only. I want to live with my family that I create. You understand? I create my own family. I make sure now, since I'm understanding, I'm going by bus to the nice and beautiful Liverpool, and I just let it be that way now. I never want to be late for this appointment. By making sure I'm very quick to the notion of what's happening around the world. And I did drink poison yesterday, and so I'm so lucky to be alive. So what I'm doing now is I'm learning quickly to just do myself a favor and to bring my little juice. I have a 250 ml juice over here. I'll promote that juice, which is pomegranate. I see pomegranate. I see pomegranate. I see pomegranate is a juice name. I see this nice and beautiful behavior here. It's a behavior bond in a way that I'm giving you words. And anything that's a behavior bond is words that you give. To promote your nice and beautiful content and be able to cover your saucepan with a nice and beautiful towel or hand towel so that you can promote your events and what you are in daily life in different ways, and bring water with you. I mean, always bring water with you because you may want to drink something on the go. And never rush. I mean, never rush with anybody's car or anything like that. I mean, in a sense, so what you need to do is groom yourself too. So since I have to groom myself as well, I make sure I just brush my teeth. Then I'll go quickly. I make sure all the time, I understand that no matter what, I'm never late or anything. But since that bus, I realize the bus is different now. Whereas I have to go and scream out Opal card. Whereas that life gets to you very quickly. And if you're never on top of life, then guess what? Probably then you have the worst kind of life. I have to be on top of life here. I have to be on top of my appointments. I have to be on top of everything. I have to be on top of everything with words today. And if guess what, Prasha, if you're never on top of life, then you have to be on top of life. Prasha, if somebody's never on top of life, then they can never do music production because they need to get on top of life to do music production. I'm gonna say, I need to be on top of life to be doing music production because unless, Prasha, if my life never gets on top of life, then I never do music production unless I'm on top of life itself. So I'm always focusing on delivering content. And I'm cleaning up my area now because I feel pressure, but no pressure at all. I can just go now. Whereas now, because that's the case, if I go now, pressure, it's much more how I feel. I feel that no matter what, that sometimes you have to lack grooming in your life, and you have to just go. I mean, forget grooming. Forget even brushing your teeth, and just go get to your appointment. Is what I'm saying. So now, if that's the case for me, I'm probably it's much more how I feel. But let it be. I'll just go and do that. I'll make sure I just go. Because I want to go and do life in a way that I never have to be late. I never want to be late. And either way, I have to go and shave anyway. And since I shave, I have to go do better than that. But every single time, just focus on understanding that I'm swapping one area of life. I'm focusing on doing one area of life to swap it for something else. What am I swapping now? I'm swapping myself to, let's say, instead of grooming myself right now, instead of brushing my teeth, I just go to the appointment. Understand? Because that way I'm never late. I'm never late for it. And that way I have an appointment and I have to go now. So that's the thing, guys. That's the thing about life, isn't it? If you want something out of life, then you have to achieve a greater way. And either way, everybody's life's different. But you have to understand that people around me, in terms of life, in terms of these Serbian people, they are giving me ideas, but you must understand, they really, really, let's say, dislike themselves. They hate themselves so much. They hate themselves. Whereas it's never that they never hate me. Whereas they hate themselves. I never want to be around anybody who hates themselves. When they look at me in terms of pleasure and they say, this guy never gives us pleasure. And they see that and then they get negative on me because of that. Or they say, he has no drugs to give us. That's what they say. Whereas those people say that for me, that I have no drugs to give them. I have everything to give. I'm giving everything, always. And the only drug is words. I have words to give you. Words is life. All the escorts and prostitutes and people at brothels and negative people and drug addicts all look for something other than words. They never want your words, man. They want a pillow. They want cookies. They want Coca-Cola. They want some weed. And that's their words. Understand? That's what they are. So they never look for I love you. They never want you to say I love you to them. They want you to give them a cotton earbuds tip. They want you to give them a blanket. They want a speaker or something. They want a heater. They want air conditioner. They want a lamp because they're negative people. I mean, they want some sunscreen. I mean, they want a shaver. I mean, they want anything they can touch in this lifetime. But they never want words, man. You understand? I mean, they never want the untouchable. I mean, they want to touch everything. I mean, they want to be mortal. But if you're immortal, then you're speaking words. I mean, to be immortal is to speak words. I have to go now. I feel pressure. I feel a signal that says go. All right, alibi. Now, anyway, that's the kind of spacing I have now. I have a spacing that says go and go and go now. So anyway, I realized that what I do with Opal Card is different now. But guess what, Parashah? If I speak better and better and better, Parashah, it's much more how I get free entry all the time. And now if I use the free entry here to speak live, I deserve free entry always. I deserve free entry. But if I'm like that, always, Parashah, it's much more how I need to go and give as well. I'm giving always. I'm trying to give. I'm trying to give. But then guess what, Parashah? There may be a person in terms of that bus individual who says, hey, I mean, they may say to me that there is no entry or some shit. I mean, so they may give me free entry, but guess what? Actually, what I want to do with Opal Card now, I understand that I have to get one, but a little bit now. I can do better. But I have to get myself a better way, which is an Opal Card. And I focus on making sure that I just go, because that way I understand the grooming sessions is different. And I understand that it's all quick and handy for me to understand. I never ever do anything other than just make sure I arrive quicker to places that I need to be. And now I understand I can get the Uber. I can go Uber, but I'd rather go by bus. Because I never want to rush anyway. I realize that I can afford everything, but I realize it's much more how I feel. I feel the bus driver today is going to give me a good day. I feel everything's nice and beautiful. But guess what, Parashah? That's the kind of words I need to be showing you. If you have somebody so attractive that's with somebody else, then guess what, Parashah? It's more just look to yourself, to give yourself the words to have better, and that's it. And there's always a better life that you can give people. So anyway, I'm just playing my music in the background because I feel that I need to catch up, and now I need to catch up with myself the most. I need to catch up with life. Because no matter how much you want to read from other people, I mean, you need to make a difference. I mean, to make a difference is to live life. I mean, do you understand? So, focus on making events and doing events around town. But now I'm understanding either way that the bank only helps you after the first year of having a business account. So anyway, now what I want to do is I have to have a plus for next year. And I always have a plus in my words. I'm always understanding that's all equality in terms of I already have everything. I have all the money already. And since I can make it these events, now it's all different. And now since the banks always allow me to have their money, well, actually it's more how I can grab the money as well. I can grab much more money than they believe. So anyway, whereas that, I just go and do greater. And I go and ask for what I deserve, and I'm understanding that no matter what, you guys have to do so also. I realize every single time I learn something, I learn it quickly. I learn everything upon making sure that I go ICU in a way that it's my music track. So I'm learning very quickly to just enjoy my life differently. And as I learn my life differently, I make sure that I place my nice and beautiful content to a certain direction that I can hear in my life. I can hear the public speaking, I can hear the nice and beautiful tone of my voice and what's happening in terms of words. And other people just cannot believe it. I mean, they cannot believe that Danny Blavojevic, in terms of Danny Blavojevic, can do all this content. I mean, they have so much doubt about me. I mean, they doubt themselves so much. I mean, if they doubt me like that, I mean, they're doubting themselves this way. I mean, so they doubt me, and you guys doubt me to the point that you live life. I mean, the only way to raise yourself to my status is to speak words. Parashah, that's it. Parashah, if you want to raise yourself to Jesus Christ's standards, then speak His words. Parashah, that's it. Parashah, now you must understand. Anyway, Jesus Christ always, but I'm always doing better than Jesus Christ because that's how I feel, and I want to understand that. So, anyway, I understand Jesus Christ is laughing. I mean, He loves me so much. I mean, that's it. Because I'm always doing better than Jesus Christ. I realize that's the way. I mean, I'm always doing better, regardless. I did a nice and beautiful joke with the disciple Peter. And Peter back in the days is saying the Messiah is coming and that there's somebody better than me. And that's what he said. But for example, with myself, I say, as Danny Malloy says, the Messiah is coming, but I am better than him. But guess what? It's more that it's just like that. But it's more like the Messiah is coming, but this individual is better than me, but I'm better than him. It's just that kind of nice and beautiful aspect of life always. Just enjoying yourself. I understand people can understand what I mean. You have to have that comedy about you all the time. You have to do something great every time, and then you have to focus on your life. Focus on your life. But I miss doing music, but why is my music lagging? I'm never lagging anything. I have to understand, I have to be on top of life. And I realize it's much more about life coaching now than it is music. Understand? And I understand that it's much more about lifting people now than ever before. I want to be making sure my nice and beautiful life is getting ahead of me in terms of words now. I'm understanding if I want to attract something now, I'm understanding it's the words that are coming out of my mouth. And that's life coaching, guys. The life coaching on my life is different. And I'm making sure anyway that I work on my tracks as much as I can, but I never touch my genitals while I'm walking. Why is that? Because it looks like you want to have a better persona around you. You never touch you're never scratching your genitals in front of a woman or people that you're public speaking to. Imagine somebody that is public speaking to thousands of people and they're scratching their genitals in front of you. How does it look? Go have more discipline than that. That's what I'm saying. Either way, I want to do greater always. I want to make sure I'm learning very quickly upon my story here. I'm learning something different along the way. I'm making sure I do have some money in my bank account to make sure that I can get where I need to go. And making sure always, you understand that I'm rich in my words, guys. The bank amount of money I have is the words I've been giving you. I promise you, it's nothing else. Never ever believe that you're the money of your bank account. You guys are the money of the words you said only. Your money is Jesus Christ only, guys. That is your money. If you want to understand your real money is Jesus Christ. Promise you, that's it, man. You're rich already. Guess what, promise you, that's how it is. In that sense, so what you need to do daily is to focus on a great way for yourself, and that's it. Always have money in your account and always connect yourself into a better way for yourself. Alright, now if you do that and if you realize something about life, then connect your nice and beautiful way of life in different ways and understand that what you need to do daily is focus on making sure that your nice and beautiful bank account has its worth of share. So what I need to do is I need to look at my bank account and I need to look at the business transaction account and where I'm sending my money to before I send the money. I need to teach myself better. So what I do is I place internet on my nice and beautiful phone, but for some reason I have no Wi-Fi. I do have Wi-Fi, but my phone, in terms of my other phone, has no Wi-Fi signal. So what I want to do is I want to get on this bus here, but my bus is quickly over here, so that's excellent. And I'm saying I just want to connect my phones to have internet always. So I understand that my phone is working with the bank account without signal or the Wi-Fi signal, so I'm always making sure I'm giving my phone this time. I think what's making sure you guys understand that. I see this over here. I see it. See, now it's working. Whereas now my phone's working with the nice and beautiful bus now, but why wasn't it working before? You understand? So what I do is I sit at the front over here, and now I have a nice and beautiful front seats at the bus over here. And since I have a front seat over here to enjoy my life, I'm enjoying my life in different ways, guys. So make sure you understand that if you have a nice and beautiful bus somewhere, and you can sit at the front seats of the bus, which is the best, where you can sit at the front to watch the nice and beautiful road ahead of you while the bus driver is driving. If you're doing that, then guess what, it's much better for you to realize that you sit in the back somewhere. Now why in the back? Because you can see the whole bus and what's happening. And now I always choose to do the front seats. I choose the front seats, always. much more than the back seats in an actual bus. And why is that? Because I feel that when you're driving through a bus station or when you're driving with a bus, that you are looking better and you're feeling better when you're watching the road. I understand, but when you're watching the side of the road, which is different, I'd rather watch the front of the road than the side of the road, because you see the front road. I mean, you see what's happening in the front, and that way you understand it's much better. And every single time, just understand that if you have a bus that's actually, let's say, going and has a double side in terms of has a downstairs and upstairs. So this bus is a double bus, so it has a top end and a lower end. But usually a school bus, for example, only has the bus seats at the lower end. But this one here, I can walk up the steps and there's another section, and inside of the Nice and Beautiful bus over here, there's an upper section, and there's an up section over here where I'm standing and I'm where the bus driver is, but just at the top of it, and it's the second level. You understand? So if you understand, buses have a second level, and some buses only have one level, but other buses have two levels. I'm on the bus right now that has two levels, and I'm at the front seats. I'm all the way at the front where the bus driver is. I'm just on top of him at the second level. I'm watching the road. I'm right in front of the Nice and Beautiful screen over here, which is the dashboard of the screen. But I feel that the words right now is something that you need to understand about life. I have beautiful music, so what I want to do is love my life differently, and I want to make sure that I have my Nice and Beautiful music role playing in the background as I'm doing my life Gregor. But it's already 9:22. My appointment is at 10 p.m. in terms of 10 a.m. So I just go quickly to the Nice and Beautiful bus in terms of the bank station over there to get some information for you guys so I can succeed. And I want to ask them everything about the bank. I want to write some notes down about what to ask them too. Or else I want to be making sure to ask them all the questions I can. And I want to make sure that either way I'm charging my phones as well along the way. I'm connecting my phones to have internet as well. I want to make sure that you guys understand straight away that as soon as I put internet in terms of personal hotspot and I turn it on, then my phones connect up on the internet automatically. And since I'm actually understanding that no matter what, that my Nice and Beautiful music sets over here is excellent. So what I want to do is just really enjoy my life in different ways. So as I do something to perform in different ways, I make sure that I'm learning something about myself in the process of living life. And I'm talking to you. I'm making sure that you guys understand that in the bus it's very cold. So inside public transport it's very cold. For instance, for myself, I'm never cold in my word eye. I'm never ever cold. But I'm understanding that you should always put on your jacket when you go somewhere. Always. Always wear a jacket when you go somewhere. And that's how it is. Now, jumper or jacket is much more likely. They understand that if you wear a jacket, you look richer. You look richer with a jacket. So I'm always understanding now that if I get a jumper, it's just to brand myself with a jumper. But I never wear a jumper anywhere. Why? That's just the way I am. I just go and wear jackets now. I wear a jacket instead of a jumper. My jumper is my jacket. So what I do now is I just understand straight away. I feel exactly how I feel in a way that I understand straight away how my music is in a way of my life, and how I understand that no matter what, I can see straight away how I grow. And I grow different ways. And I can actually make melodies, and it's so beautiful. I realize now when I really understand something about life, I realize it's just how you feel when you are doing something greater for yourself. And you have to understand how far humanity has come in terms of life. But when they have something that you want, then you have to understand to speak words about that, and speak words of success, and have better than them. I never want what you want. I want something better than what you want. And that's the difference. Understand? Because if you only want what I have, then you only achieve Danny Milivojevic then. You have to want something better than me. You have to have a greater belief system than me to achieve something better. And that's it. Life hits you hard when people go throughout life and when somebody has more than you. If somebody has more than you, and guess what happens? Then life is hitting you so hard right here. And life is telling you to step up if you want to have more. But I'm always the one who has the most long term. I have the most long term because I'm documenting my life more than them. That's it. I have a greater legacy than them, and that's it. I realize all the work I can do now is I can go and do some business, and I can also connect my Nice and Beautiful words over here in a different way, while also making sure that I just go do my content over here. So as I go and do my content in different ways, I make sure that no matter what I do, that I focus upon loving my life. And as I love my life, I succeed. I succeed in different ways because I show for it. I show a different life in the making of what I'm doing. And that's why I deserve success, because I'm somebody who understands life. I understand that when I really live life every single day, and I do something different all the time, I'm making sure I love this. I love my story with my Idonatopia. But I'm making sure, anyway, since I love my life so much, I do something greater always. And that's the whole point, isn't it? I do something always different. So as I really live life in different ways, I can see how attractive people can be straight away. But what I do straight away is I love my life in a way that I learn something about life. So I actually I have to go to Mega Drive over here and upload. I have to go and see what to do over here. So I have a Mega Drive over here, and since I use Mega Drive, I have to go and connect the nice and beautiful audio content here. So I go from 31 to the nice and beautiful 40, because that's 10 selections. And either way, I was from 1 to 40 is how many, or I was from 31 to 40 is how many nice and beautiful numbers. I mean, it's 10 numbers. I mean, why? Because the 0 and 1 connect into 1. I mean, understand? So which is what? I mean, guess what? I mean, from 31 to 39 is how many numbers? I mean, you can say 9 numbers. I mean, from 31 to 9, or from 1 to 9 is how many numbers? I mean, it's 9. I mean, it's 9 numbers. Whereas from 1 to 9 is how many numbers? I mean, it's 9 numbers. I mean, how is it 9 numbers? I mean, from 1 to 9. I mean, it's 9 numbers, yeah? I mean, from 0 to 9 is how many numbers? I mean, it's 9 numbers. When you see the multiplications, I mean, from 1 to 9 is 9 numbers, and from 0 to 9 is 9 numbers. I mean, from 0 to 1 is how many numbers? I mean, 1 number. I mean, from 1 to 2 is how many numbers? I mean, it's 1 number. But it's also 2 numbers. I mean, how's the number 2? It's actually number 1, because there's only 1 number there. Whereas now, either way, you must understand that what you do is from 1 to 3 is how many numbers? It's 2 numbers. That's 2 numbers. I mean, whereas now, either way, you must understand that from 1 to 9 is how many numbers? It's also that you realize this, that if you go 1 to 2 numbers, I mean, how many numbers is that? I mean, it's 2 numbers when it's a number 2. Understand? If you go and understand, it's also 1 number 2. Whereas it's 1 and 2 numbers. I mean, how many times can you make, let's say, 9 numbers a part of 9 numbers? I mean, you can only do it 9 times. Understand? So if you learn the multiplications like this, you're learning very quickly that 0 to 10 is how many numbers? I mean, it's 10 numbers. I mean, it's 10 numbers, but 1 to 10 is how many numbers? I mean, it can be 10 numbers, or it can be 9 numbers. I mean, it can be both. Whereas now, it is. I mean, you understand? Because 9 plus 1 is 10. But also, if you realize 1 to 10 numbers is also 10 numbers, because you finish on a 10. When you finish on number 10, so there's always 10 numbers when you're finishing on 10. But if you go 1 to 10, then it's also 9 numbers can make up 10. You understand? I'm pretty sure that's how multiplication is. I mean, 9 numbers can make up 10. I mean, now, anyway, I have to go and make sure that my nice and beautiful ways of life is happening. So what I do is I just keep going, but I'm feeling that no matter what, I need to have better before I have a relationship with other people in terms of women. But I'm understanding that no matter what, that what you need to do is you need to do greater, and you have to understand every single day how I realize something. I realize how my nice and beautiful music in terms of what I've done is totally different. But what I want to do is I want to connect it together. I want to connect something together so I can just play it. And as I feel that way, or else it's just that kind of individuality. So I understand that if I want to do that, then let it be, or else half of the track can be something different. But since I'm learning that, I realize it's just that kind of way. But I feel that it's much more how it is. Now, if I feel anything about life, I feel that the more you do, the better. I mean, so I feel every single time that I can connect some nice, beautiful content together here to make different sounds and different melodies and different ways of doing my track to make sure I can pronounce it much more. And that's the kind of way I realize that it's much more, let's say, how I feel, that for now I can go do that, and I make sure I can just do something very different to make sure I can get in the nightclub as quickly as possible is what I want to do, and then I just go and continue. And that's the thing. I want to be able to do that. And now, is it cheating? Unfortunately not, because I'm always learning how to quickly deliver something. And now, as I quickly deliver, I want to make sure that I'm connecting my nice and beautiful music in different ways. But as I do that, I'm learning different aspects of life and how my music is evolving in terms of what I'm doing. So I'm evolving in different ways, but focusing on understanding that if you love a sound and you love it so much, then go and use that sound into your music. But I do love the sound in terms of how it is, and because of that, I realized I want to hear it all my life. And that's it. Approach it's much more how you move on then. I mean, in a sense, so what you want out of life is something different, and you want to be making sure that every single day that you're showing people sounds and you're showing people something different, and you're making sure that you're never repeating a story. Never repeat a story, but make sure you understand that you always go and do the greater part. If you make it greater and greater and greater, you go and use those parts that are greater only. Understand? But if you want to combine it together, you can. Understand? Also, but just make sure that it's something that you've done that's better. And that way you are learning. You must be learning very quickly on how life goes. And life goes in a way that I'm never grooming on the go, in a way that I'm always grooming on the go, but I'm never grooming in a transport vehicle. I'm never grooming in a bus or Uber or airplane or train. I'm never brushing my teeth in the bus or train or car service or car or vehicle or public transport, for example, or plane or bike or boat. I'm never doing anything around grooming inside a bus or train or boat or public transport or motorbike or Uber or Didi service or airplane or helicopter or boat. And why is that? Because I feel greater and I understand it's just the kind of way it is. I only ever groom just inside the door somewhere where I understand there's a bedside where I sleep on. That's where I groom. I groom in the 1 meter entry of that. So that's the only place I groom. So I realize that if you're on rides somewhere and you're grooming on rides or something, and you're on a ride like a roller coaster and you're brushing your teeth on a roller coaster, come on, man. Come on. You understand? Every single time, understand if you have scissors and you're trying to groom your beard while on a roller coaster somewhere, how funny is that? Only ever groom where you sleep. If you're sleeping in a nice and beautiful way of life over there, and you're making sure you're doing something different, and you're making sure that you're learning very quickly upon how people find you attractive, and you're doing something that is nice and beautiful for yourself to succeed, and you're understanding every single day you're learning about that nice and beautiful attitude that you give to the table, and you're focusing upon making sure that you're just learning. You're learning something different, and you're making sure you're positive about that nice and beautiful attitude every single day. Because what is attractive is understanding that you're learning. That's what you need to do always. You need to be understanding that, and you need to be understanding what you need to do always to be able to succeed differently. But if you understand that people respect you because you can produce music and you can do something nice and beautiful for yourself, of course that's the best way. The best way to understand life is to be an entrepreneur and to be able to go and pronounce yourself better and do something different. But if you feel afraid to look at somebody, then just look at the words you speak. Just mind your business always. Mind your business in a way that you're doing something different. And it's much more anyway to listen to your words than to look at other people. Because you're somebody who understands what you're doing. And because you're doing something much more than other people in different ways. You're learning very quickly upon what you're doing. And then that's how I feel. So if you're feeling different aspects of life and you're understanding straight away how to make much more music upon what you're doing, understand music has no rules about life. There's no rules about life. Understand, but if you want to go and do something greater for yourself, then make sure you have to talk those words. Every single day, talk those words. When there's nothing else to do every single day, then talk the words of life. If you want to approach someone and you want to talk to them, then make sure you're positive about your communication with them and speak the words better with them, and that's it. That's how you really get what you want. If you look nicer to them, then you're much more likely to sell them on what you're doing. So sales is all about better communication. That's it, approaching. Many people like Grant Cardone Grant Cardone has a firm where he uses many salespeople to get what he wants. And he builds a sales team, and what he does with the sales team is to make more money on the line. It's more to make his money come more true. And he uses other people's communicational words to his advantage. But he can never teach them how to communicate. But what he forces them to do is to communicate. Much more and more and more and more. And if they never want to communicate, then he fires them. Actually, so what he does is he makes his firm to make money, and if he never makes money on the individual, then he just says goodbye. I love it. Make sense? So that's the whole point. I mean, they have to be willing to develop their communicational skills with people to be with him. I mean, so anyway, so you must understand, I'm doing better than that. I never need to qualify for Grant Cardone and his sales team to be somebody, man. I mean, you understand? Already I'm somebody already, man. In a sense, so what I do is I focus on understanding that I want to just get out here. Focus on making sure that my life is nicely preparing itself to succeed. And I succeed in different ways, guys. I succeed in making sure that I have more than enough, and I have more than enough always to succeed upon. So as I do life, I succeed, and as I succeed, I shall breathe more. If you understand anything about life, then just make sure you're nice and beautiful all the time with yourself when you're making sure that you're doing something that is helping you grow. I mean, grow in different ways. I mean, there's nothing else to do. So make sure you're using your music production to go and be progressive upon what you want to promote. But if it counts for you to go and do it, then do it. I promise you, it sounds amazing when you can go and make sounds such as this in terms of life, where you're always doing great. I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, make sure you understand. I mean, always make sure that the top of your phone goes, thank you, boss. Or else every single day, just focus upon understanding that what you want to do is promote yourself as much as you can. If you have business cards to promote, then check your business cards and check your pockets and see how many business cards you always have to invite people to your events, regardless. Whereas anyway, now since I have business cards here, I have 2 business cards, I have 3 business cards. I can invite 3 people right now to my events right now. So what I want to do is I want to be checking my business cards before I actually go anywhere. I want to see how many business cards I have before I go anywhere. Because the whole point for me is to make sure that you guys have more business cards out there of me. Because that's the whole point of promoting yourself, guys. I mean, being able to promote yourself so much that you go wherever you need to go to study what you need to study to succeed upon making more money. I mean, how do you make more money today? I mean, you make more money today by understanding that you need to go and do life greater, but my nice and beautiful jacket over here is the other way around. I mean, that's funny, yeah? I make sure now, pause my music. I always pause my music when I have to, when I have to get my jacket off, I pause my music when I have to get my jacket off. And then I place my nice and beautiful shoulder bag on the floor. I continue to speak to you, but what I do is I kneel down on the floor with one knee to place a selfie stick on the floor somewhere so I can nicely get off my jacket. And now my selfie stick and my phone is on the floor while I'm undressing my jacket with both hands, while the selfie stick is holding my phone right now. And I'm never holding my phone right now with my hands because I'm using both hands to put on my jacket, but my nice little selfie stick is on the floor. So I'm standing my selfie stick upright on the floor while my phone is in connection to the nice and beautiful phone. And you guys can see a picture of me putting on my jacket while also making sure I put on my business cards. I place my business cards while I'm on the floor with one knee, and I'm placing my business cards in my left jacket pocket. And why on my left? Because I'm never right about anything and I'm never wrong about anything. And then I lift myself up, I get my selfie stick now, and I make sure that you guys understand what I mean. And I place my shoulder bag on my right shoulder and I just keep walking. I mean, Sam? Whereas now my actual phone, in terms of my actual, let's say, nice and beautiful over here, in terms of my nice and beautiful earphones, have a way of speaking. So I'm understanding that what I want to do now is understand that it's so much faster for me to do life going by public transport than to go for my own car. And I never want to be driving anywhere with a car. I mean, that's the goal. I mean, the goal is to never drive anywhere with a car. I mean, so what you need to do is focus on something that's much better. I mean, if somebody's looking at you so much, I mean, there's so much in love with you. I mean, they want some pleasure from you straight away because they find you attractive. And you can see everything in the words. I mean, the words is what's attractive about people. So if you understand straight away, I can see the Miz, for example. I can see the Miz around me. I can see so much tension around him with me. I mean, I can see that anything that's tension around me is they're jealous of me. But I understand his wife loves me. I mean, I can see it. So what I do is I understand with Triple H, I can see straight away around these people. I realize they have so much, let's say, nice and beautiful ways of life around me. So it's much more how I feel that they have no tension around me. I mean, they can communicate with me all day long. And I feel that way, but I understand Shane McMahon too. I realize it's more how they have communicational skills. And that's why I understand that no matter what, that the Vince McMahon family over there with the WWE, which they're very successful. So as I really, really understand something about life and words, I understand I speak to other people really quickly. And what happens is I find them actually less attractive with my words. And then that's how I really, really understand straight away now how I can always do better. I can always go and speak more words to attract better women and better people in my life. And then I understand straight away how I can feel. I can feel straight away these people around me are nothing even close to me. I mean, they're nothing close to me in attractiveness. And why is that? Because I'm somebody much more higher value in my words. I have so much more to give. But nobody around me is very attractive other than I. I mean, that's why I'm feeling that I'm doing better than all of them. And that's how I'm understanding I'm attracting a better life for myself anyway. So anyway, I want to be making sure I make a new appointment for myself. And I do life. So how are you? I just came to get my appointment at 10 a.m. I have 10 a.m. appointment with Danny Milivojevic.
Danny?
I said Danny.
Brian, yeah?
I said Brian.
Yeah.
I said yeah, I have no worries. Thank you. So either way, I make sure that I'm learning very quickly upon understanding that what I want to do all the time is focus upon understanding that this one over here has a lot of attraction for me. But I'm understanding anyway, I can always do better. But if you want to understand anything about life now, I find that actually attractive, so I focus upon understanding. I have no worries. I thank you very much. I think. So I realize now, when I really understand something about life, I realize it's much more how I feel. I feel if I find anybody attractive, it's much more how I feel about them as well. That I have attraction with them. And now since I have attraction with them, I understand my words are very much more important right now. So as I find much more important words, I never ever want to be placing coins into the bank like that. I mean, you understand those guys or women out there who have so many fucking coins and they're placing it in the bank account when it's the fucking lowest of the low. You understand? And why is the lowest of the low to do that? First, to do that action of fucking doing that. First, they're never the lowest of the low. First, the people in the planet are never the lowest of the low. Because we have Jesus Christ. But the actions of fucking placing coins into the fucking bank account like that. I mean, how fucking poor is it when you have $1 million in coins? And you're going to you're going to the bank and you're placing your $1 million of coins into the bank machine. I mean, doesn't that fucking look stupid? It looks like a fucking most stupid thing that you can do. I mean, you understand? But what looks stupid to me also is being around this area, Liverpool. Actually, it's a fucking stupid action around here. You understand? But guess what? I probably know. Actually, it's never stupid for me because my biological dad's here. You understand? Or that's why I'm here. I'm here because of my biological dad. I mean, so either way, I'm here because of I. But I'm here to see my biological dad, and that's it. Or that's why I'm around Liverpool. But that's the difference of the reason. But other people are in Liverpool because they want to be in Liverpool and without somebody else in the picture. Probably then they're fucking stupid people, I promise you. But if you have any kind of reason to be much more attractive about whatever you're doing, you're focusing upon understanding every single day. You're looking for that nice little attractive factor. So if you approach people all the time to go and succeed and you understand straight away to move on when you want to, but make sure you understand that if you want to push yourself in communication with someone, then make sure you have money, make sure you have all the time in the world to succeed, and make sure you understand that's the whole case. And the whole case is spin more wisdom words and be able to talk to people more. But my words are coming out of my mouth in a way that I'm much more learning how to succeed daily in different ways. And that's why I'm always uploading content online now.